What happened to the smartest kid at your high school? His name was Aaron Vick. Everyone knew him, not in the usual high school popularity way, but because he was always winning something. Science fairs, math competitions, state chess tournaments. He skipped a grade and still had the highest GPA. Teachers whispered about how he was going places. His locker was filled with textbooks 2 years ahead of the curriculum. He wore the same jacket every day, frayed at the cuffs, and carried a thermos that always smelled faintly of coffee and cinnamon. We weren't friends exactly, but we had homeroom together for 3 years. He was polite, soft-spoken, always scribbling notes in margins or solving puzzles during announcements. Once, during a school-wide assembly, the principal called him a once-in-a-generation mind. Aaron didn't look up, just kept quietly sketching molecular structures in his notebook. He lived in a small rental off Maple Street with his mom. Never mentioned his dad. A few kids teased him about the way his clothes never fit quite right or how he brought a peanut butter sandwich for lunch every day. But no one could mock his brain. Even the worst bullies left him alone when they realized he could fix your broken calculator or write your physics paper without breaking a sweat. Senior year, he was valedictorian, of course. He gave a short, precise speech, quoting Carl Sagan and saying something about knowledge being both a tool and a burden. Most kids were too busy planning parties to really listen. I only remembered that line because I found it scribbled later on the back page of my own graduation program. After that, he got a full ride to MIT. The town buzzed about it. Local paper wrote a front-page story. His mom framed it and brought it to the grocery store to show the cashier. But then, about a year and a half later, the news stopped. His Facebook profile, last updated with a campus photo, went silent. Someone said he dropped out. Someone else claimed he had a breakdown. Nobody knew for sure. His mom stopped coming into town much. A few of us from high school still talked sometimes, and every now and then someone would ask, "Whatever happened to Aaron Vick?" 3 years after graduation, I ran into him behind the library on Main. He was sitting on a bench, legs pulled up, hoodie drawn tight even though it was warm. I almost didn't recognize him. His face was thinner, eyes hollowed out, but it was him. I said his name. He looked up, blinked, then smiled. Small, like it took effort. We talked for a while. He said he'd left MIT the year before, said it wasn't what he expected, said his mind never shut off, that the pressure turned inward, sharp and constant, like static he couldn't escape. He'd been working odd jobs, living back with his mom, trying to untangle things. I asked if he still wrote code or studied physics. He shook his head. "I fix toasters now," he said. "It's quieter." He wasn't bitter. That was the strangest part. He didn't seem angry about what people expected of him or what he didn't become. He said he read a lot of poetry now, that sometimes, on good days, he wrote it too. I saw him once more a year later, at the Co-op Bakery downtown. He was smiling, laughing even, wearing a stained apron and handing out pastries. The smartest kid at our high school didn't end up solving quantum mechanics or building rockets, but he found peace somehow. And maybe that's its own kind of brilliance.